how you're doing. Ebbs and flows, just like yesterday. Chaos. Shouting and screaming, poking, kicking. Ugh. The joys of being a grown-up in 2022. And that's dealing with other grown-ups. Neat thing has happened today. Largely has been a pretty empty day. Just hanging out, talking, getting through the life. Not too long ago, my eldest son got into VR. He got an Oculus Quest 2 standalone VR headset. Quest 2? Fucking peasants have the Quest 2. Well, it's a pretty solid headset. For as far as VR headsets go, it's up there, easily one of the best. Feature set, definitely up there as one of the best, regardless of what you think about Meta, Facebook, that kind of stuff. It is a fantastic headset, especially for the price. But he's wanted one for ages, but I wouldn't let him have one because he hadn't turned 13. I'm a stickler for terms of service in most things with the exception of like Steam. Just because it's going to sound terrible. I'm not going to honour terms of service for Lego Marvel. Okay? Something like that. If I was going to buy my kids like Grand Theft Auto or something, then sure. But, you know. So, I wouldn't let him have a VR headset until his 13th birthday. And he recently turned 13. He's been so psyched to get a Quest. We also got one for his brother, but his brother doesn't turn 13 until next year. But they said they all wanted to have the same headset as me. Quest. It's there. And I've got a Vive, you might not be able to see it, over there on the back. And there's a couple of other headsets floating about, but there's a Rift CV1 and a Quest 1 by my foot. But they wanted to have the same headset as me. We got them the same headset as me. Got my eldest into standalone VR on his birthday, and he absolutely loved it. And up until today, he only actually had like 2 things: VR chat and Rec Room. And yes, I have let my son at 13 go into VR chat. He hits terms of service. He's allowed to have a VR chat account. And yes, I do go into VR chat with him and keep an eye on him because that's what parents should do. An interesting thing for me is that VR chat is... Well, VR chat for kids my son's age and a bit older, so like, I don't know, teens to 20s now, right? That is basically what IRC, Yahoo Messenger, ICQ, MSN Messenger, it's what all of those things were to me. You know, the fact you could just go into an IRC chat room and just talk with tons and tons and tons of randos, you know, about all kinds of things, and you could like learn about all new things and share ideas and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. It's a modern version that you just bolt to your head. He loves standalone VR. He really, really, really loves standalone VR. He's not one of these picky fuckers like I am that goes, PC or nothing, scrub. But today, he got to try PC VR for the first time. And I was just like, because he loves standalone. He does. We hooked him up, got him in his Oculus Quest 2, fired up his Lenovo Legion 5 gaming laptop, so 3060 model, And then we hooked him up with a GLI Net Beryl 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi router. Picked him up virtual desktop. He could have used Airlink, it doesn't really matter, but we got him virtual desktop and just let him dick around in VR wirelessly. He got to play a bit of Beat Saber. That was really fun to just watch him. He got to the point where he was actually like just playing songs over and over and over again, just trying to get that flawless score. Only like on the easy, normal difficulties, yeah, but just like trying to learn the maps, learn the patterns and that, and then he'd like go back again and he'd like try and get the maximum combo he could and all that. It was really fun to watch. And then he jumped into VR chat. And honestly, it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant because there is a game he really enjoys, has done for years, Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio, depending on where you are. It's a Sega game where you rock around as a rollerblading graffiti artist. You know, you tag shit up, and VR chat has a world, a room where you can skate about and tag shit based on Jet Set Radio Future or Jet Grind Radio Future, which is the sequel to Jet Set Radio. And because at first when he logged into VR chat, I was like, it's just VR chat, it's no different, Dad. And I put him into the Jet Grind Radio room, and he must have just stood there for like an hour, just skating around, just dicking about. Like, there was a tutorial in there, apparently there's like missions and stuff in there, and he was just having a whale of a time. Really glad that we tried it with wireless and not with the old cable, so he didn't have to worry about doing the cable dance as he'd spin around and stuff. But he really, really, really seemed to enjoy it. With that said, though, I don't know if PC VR is going to be a thing that he really spends a lot of time in. I did say, actually, that he only had Rec Room and VR chat, right? We gave him a load of Steam vouchers for his birthday, anticipating that he would actually spend a majority of those vouchers on VR games in Steam VR to do PC VR. He didn't. So also, well, why didn't you give him vouchers for the Oculus store or the Meta store? You can't. That's not an option. And apparently they're really strict with prepaid cards, so you can't get like vouchers and or get like a prepaid Visa card or whatever. Like, it's just that kind of stuff doesn't always work. You can, however, gift things to people. So I learned that one today. So that'll be something we do in the future. But he didn't buy a shit ton of VR games in Steam. He bought stuff like King of Fighters 15 and stuff like that. He loves his fighting games. But when he realised he could get games on Steam VR, which I thought was surprising that he didn't realise he could, because he already had Rec Room and VR chat installed on his laptop, and he knew that I played a lot of games in VR from my PC, he went and he said, can I have, what did he want? He wanted Beat Saber and Half-Life Alyx, of all things. But yeah, he got those, and he spent a butt ton of time in there, but it's not convenient. He doesn't have a dedicated VR space. PC VR is fantastic if you have a dedicated space. Mine is literally in this room. This is our living room. The TV's right next to. But there's not a lot of room to move in here. The room that he was playing in, our front room, is where I first tried VR myself years ago. But again, in there, it's incredibly crowded. And if his brother's in there, he ain't swinging around like in the little bit of Beat Saber issue. He was being really delicate because he didn't want to hit anything. He's so worried he was going to hit something that he didn't really give it any welly. So I don't think, because obviously he'll have to hook up the GLI Net router, go into virtual desktop, then launch the game he wants. And he did have a drop on virtual desktop. But that was, I believe, mainly because the Wi-Fi in the front room's absolute garbage. And we had to use the Wi-Fi router in repeater mode to connect to the one in here. and then he was also connecting to the 5 gigahertz on the Wi-Fi router in there to do the thing, because we can't run a wire into the other room. I have said to him though that I will get my 6 gig Wi-Fi out, put it back on the sofa, and I will wire him in. I've got a couple of cables down here. Well, you can't see it, but well, screw it. There's a cable down there where I can just hook him in, and he could go off that. But it's a ball ache, and I feel personally that, with the exception of doing a handful of things like playing Half-Life Alyx, or maybe, you know, if I got him Beat Saber on the Quest headset, he'll probably be happy with that. Or the handful of rooms that he wants to play in the PC VR chat, I think he would be more than happy playing on the Quest and standalone. Because he can take that anywhere. He can be down here, he can be in his bedroom. I know that he's got a laptop, so he can take that around with him anywhere. You know, that is always an option, but it's still, again, not as convenient. Even if he's just hooking up the wire to it, that's not as convenient as just taking your Quest 2 out of your backpack, slapping it on your head, and bam, you're in VR. You got VR chat, you got Rec Room. All right, it's a bit of a limited version, but still, they're there. You've got Beat Saber. It doesn't look as good. If you are a dedicated standalone user, though, you are a special breed of insane, because I couldn't do it. My son would probably do it, but like, if you play Zenith or some stuff in VR chat, or what was that other one I tried? In standalone, Demio. If you play those games on Quest, you are a complete and utter mentalist, because they play like shit on the Quest. That's not entirely true. Zenith was terrible. I could not stomach that game for anything. Once I got to the Obsidian Fortress and I put on my Quest, and all of a sudden it would like fade to black and go like they were flushing memory caches, or I was like, no, that's it. You cannot fade to black and put like Zenith font in front of me telling me whatever it is that you're doing, because, oh my god, it's not been optimized. That can get straight in the bin. You don't do that. Not mid-combat. Some people have done it that way. Some people play it like that. I couldn't do it. But the convenience is there, and it is a fantastic PC VR headset too, albeit it's video compression, but it's with the server being on your computer and the client being on your headset. But it's still a fantastic little headset, and he absolutely loves it. And standalone is fantastic if you can handle that kind of cutback experience just purely because of convenience. It's kind of like music, really. You know, MP3s, are they as good as like a home hi-fi system? You know, like a cheapy pair of headphones and like Spotify or whatever. Is that as good as having your home hi-fi system? Or your big old stack of vinyl or CDs or whatever? Is it as good? No, it is not. Is the experience as good? No, but you've still got your tunes. You've still got a groove. There is still an experience to be had, even though it's not up here somewhere, you know? Same as driving a car, you know? Is a Ford Mondeo as good as a Bugatti Veyron? Fuck no. But can you still have fun driving it? Yes. But again, you have to be a special kind of psycho to enjoy driving. So it's just nice to see him go into VR, proper VR. Just to see him go into a map that he couldn't load up on Quest 2. And just really, really just go at it and have fun. I don't know if that'll be enough to make him swing to PC VR more. But, you know, it'll be nice for us all just to be able to get together in VR, find a couple of PC VR maps, play them all together, and see how it goes. This is neat, just to see young adults, teenagers and early 20s get their hands on VR and seem to have the same experiences I had when I first got hold of IRC, Yahoo Messenger, ICQ, you know, MSN, that kind of AOL Instant Messenger, that kind of, just, it's fucking rad. It is so rad. And for any of the parents saying, but isn't VR a complete cesspool? It can be, but if you're letting someone who is under the age of terms of service or not mentally mature enough into VR, you're an asshole, a terrible fucking parent. If your kid is under 13 and a bit of a nugget, you shouldn't be letting them in. And even if you are letting them in, if you're not doing something to supervise them, again, you're a dick. It's not up to the developers of VR Chat to make VR Chat safe for children. It's not up to Rec Room to do the same. You should be doing your job as a parent, keeping your kids safe and stuff. I do it. Even my mates will go in and check on my boy. Like, oh mate, he's having a fucking right laugh at you, and then I'll pop in or I'll go upstairs and check on him. Just give him the ground rules. Tell him to play safe. Don't be a dick to anyone. If someone's a dick to him, just leave or whatever, and just have a good time. So cool. But that said, I'm gonna head off though. So I've been rabbiting on for what should have been a couple of minutes. It's turned into just so long. Honestly, if anyone grew up around the same time as I did, and did the whole MSN Yahoo, thing, IRC, ICQ thing, you already understand what VR is like to a lot of these kids. It's opening up whole new worlds to them, where we just had text on the screen, though they have full body avatars, digital representations of human beings that actually speak to them and move around. It's more advanced, but the clout is still there, still fantastic. I hope you're well, and I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. I need to figure out some really cool VR chat worlds though, that work on both Quest and PC. See what we can find.